we've got there. It's early in the stage. The women are obviously also aware that it's a long race, so we don't see everybody storming away right away from the front. You do want to pace yourself in this race.
And they're going very early into that climb that we've just seen the men doing. So that's going to be coming right up front for them. So key to be obviously warmed up and ready. Serrano on the front now. We saw him earlier. Clementizia Aubert driving the pace up there. Mark Stutzman, his partner, is there. The Swiss champion. I think one of those red jerseys belongs to him. The others, the South African pair in the Wessel Botha and Johan van Zyl in those red jerseys. They are on loan, the Absa African jersey for that pair. I'll look at Beers and Nokia, making sure they get themselves positioned at the key area here.
Yeah, that's a good train to pull and be pulled with David Valero. Lots of power in those legs of this man.
Also two teams. They've got a handy second team in Samuel Poro and Luis Martinez. So Poro hugely experienced at this race. So they're a threat as well.
Yeah, Samuel Poro, one of the strongest climbers in the world, so many times on a World Championships podium. An exceptional rider from Italy who really does love the climbs.
Oh, trouble here. Yellow jersey in trouble. That's Tristan Nokia and Matt Beers have had to stop trailside and effect some repairs. They're looking back down the trail. There's trouble for the race leaders. High drama now. Stage 1 is taking a toll on this race. What is the issue here?
Yeah, you could see as soon as you leave the main line, and Serrano was definitely on the main line, the risk of puncturing is right there. And it looks like it is a little puncture, small sidewall cut. Hopefully they're able to fix it quickly, but you see a lot of teams are going by and everyone at the front will take this as an advantage now.
Wow, this is a key moment on this stage 1 now. Beers off his bike. It's going to take longer than they expected as we get a closer look here. They're going to put the CO2 cartridge in and bomb it. And we've got our e-biker. In fact, Jason Boole is our e-biker today. Stefan Sam not with us. He's close in attendance there.
Staying calm and collected. You basically want to be like a surgeon with the scalpel, fixing those problems. You want to make sure that you fix this problem properly and not having to change, to stop again. We see the other team stopping for them. Marco Hubert, who was meant to partner up with Tristan before this race, he stopped to offer his help, but he was sent on by Tristan. It seems that they will be able to fix it. He's just putting in a plug. So these tires, these wheels are tubeless, meaning there's no inner tube inside. There's just sealant inside. And basically the easiest way to fix things is by putting a plug in. This is kind of like a worm that you put into the tire, and the sealant is then doing the job of sealing the rest of it if all works well. So they're putting it sideways to put that sealant, to gather the sealant there by the hole. You can see them shaking it towards where the hole is so that the sealant can do its job. They're not riding with inner tubes because South African terrain, there's a lot of thorns along the way. We see teams passing.
Turlo and Hurston are coming in to assist them. Yeah,
we
this is
see
Turlo and
another team maybe offering them the wheel.
Yes.
Let's see if they're actually going to change it. This is a lot of time that's passing here. That's very stressful. That's not an ideal start for the yellow jersey here.
This is absolutely drama here. As a swap of wheels now on Jaden Turlo's bike. He is riding with Loert Goossen. And this is that team dynamic we were alluding to just minutes ago, coming to play here for the race leaders, Matt Beers and Tristan Nokia. The high drama unfolding here in the Absa Cape Epic. And the time is leaking away here, absolutely leaking away for these two. Real drama for the race leaders.
I'm very surprised that the first team didn't change the wheel, that they let them go, because that's also like almost a minute between. But by that stage, they probably thought that it's going to be a fix quick. But again, like every time you have to work on the tire, it is dangerous. The plug can come out, more air leaking. That means that you have to stop again. Hopefully, they also grabbed some CO2s from the second team, because they probably used one or two already of their own, meaning that you never want to be without it either, because this can happen at any stage once over again.
Well, how's that going to influence the front end of the race here? Because all these riders will know they had the yellow jerseys, the distinctive. They're not here. They're not with us. And they are going to turn up the heat here. Chance for one of these teams to take that leader's jersey.
Yeah, and this is the difference to a Tour de France, for example, where one would potentially wait if something like that happens to the leader. This is not road racing, this is mountain biking, this is part of the game. This is not usual that the front pack would wait for the leaders, because it can happen to any team at any time. This is part of mountain biking, and that's obviously now, that gives these teams wings, because they see the leader's jersey in front of them up for grabs.
And this select group now, select over that big climb and the drama of now. Beers and Tristan Nortje to chase back. We don't have a definitive, precise time that they lost there, but 2.5, 3 minutes.
Yeah, I think it was going towards 4 minutes,
4 minutes
actually.
even, yeah.
And now, it's so important to take your experience. And Matt Beers, who's done so many epics, obviously a Tristan Nortje as well, but not to panic now. Now you cannot panic. You need to be patient. You can't make this minutes up in the next few kilometers. You really need to stay calm. You need to still ride within yourself. Otherwise, this epic will be very, very difficult. And you see how loose it is. It's not a difficult track, but it's so loose. Anything can be in the road at any moment. And that's what makes it really hard, actually. It's not a World Cup course, of course. It's not big jumps or rock gardens here. But because it's unseen terrain for them, they haven't practiced this course, they haven't seen these rocks, they don't know where there's a hole in the road that can catch their wheel. That makes it difficult here.
Also the overtaking, like if they're stronger, they again, every time they want to overtake them, they leave the main line, the clean line. And the risk of puncturing again is again right there. And you can see also the other teams, they fight for position, they want to get back to the front, but Matt is doing an incredible job here, pulling at the front, trying to get seconds, meters back.
This is going to challenge the combination, the new combination, Matt Beers and Tristan Nortje, like they didn't want to be challenged at this stage of the race, but they're finding out all about it here.
A greater journey, a journey that culminates at the pinnacle of mountain biking. The Absa Cape Epic.
These 8 days you will find yourself. The race is going to try break you.
The Absa Cape Epic is the truest test of any mountain biker's abilities. The Absa Cape Epic is considered the world's premier mountain bike stage race. Often referred to as the Tour de France of mountain biking, this 8-day event takes riders across the rugged, unpredictable and stunning landscapes of South Africa's Western Cape. Now in its 22nd edition, the race draws world, European and national champions, as well as ambitious amateurs who form teams of two to cover over 700 kilometers and climb nearly 1,600 meters. Almost 1,500 riders from 58 countries will take on this wild and wonderful adventure. This year's route showcases South Africa's wilderness, beginning with the manicured single tracks at Merendal Wine Estate during the prologue. The race then moves into the expansive wilds of Montague, continues over the rugged passes and trails near Greyton, and finishes with the perfection of the Stellenbosch network for the grand finale. Today is the prologue, and it's a short, sharp loop out of the Merendal Wine Estate headquarters. This location is synonymous with the Absa Cape Epic, having been a host many times before. The course is just 20 kilometers with 650 meters of climbing, but there is a sting in the tail with the infamous Stairway to Heaven climb and the Dorstberg ascent and descent. It's a race against the clock, and the time is added to the team's overall standings. Seconds can be gained and lost on each corner, and the winners will be rewarded with the accolade of wearing the Zebra Leaders jerseys going into stage 1 tomorrow. Team Buff BH Efficient Infinity with Rosa van Duren and Vera Lossa come into this event bubbling with excitement and are very well prepared. Van Duren has done just one Cape Epic last year and placed 6th. Lossa has done 5 and achieved a win in 2023. As marathon riders, this short course is not their daily bread and butter, but they have the bit between their teeth. Van Duren pushes a little too hard and almost pays the price. They maintain composure and cross the line in just over 53.5 minutes, taking 3rd place on today's hot, dusty prologue. Current world marathon champion Kate Courtney has entered the Absa Cape Epic once in 2018. She took the win with Danish legend Anneke Langveld. Courtney's new partner is the 4-day Tankwa Trek winner, Italian Greta Seerwold. They are riding for the She Sends Foundation team. The two riders slot into a formidable partnership. They flow well together and put down consistently good split times. They continue the pace down the loose Dorstberg descent and cross the line in 52 minutes and 21 seconds to take 2nd place. Local favourite Candice Lill has entered into a new partnership with Swiss athlete Alessandra Keller, the 2025 World Short Course Champion, to form the team at Thomas Maxim Sabi Sabi. Lill consistently places among the top 10 at World Cup, but the thorn in her side is the Absa Cape Epic. She has finished 2nd a record 5 times. This collaboration may just be the golden ticket. Both athletes frequently compete against one another in the cross-country circuit and share a great friendship. Working together is an invaluable asset in one of the most demanding races on the planet. Their history will pay dividends, and the prologue gives them their first opportunity to stamp their mark on the race. They have the fastest splits of the day and take the win, almost 1 minute ahead of 2nd place. The women's podium sees Buff BH Efficient Infinity in 3rd. 2nd goes to the last-minute pairing She Sends Foundation, and the win is taken by Thomas Maxim Sabi Sabi. The cross-country duo Candice Lill and Alessandra Keller will wear the orange leaders jerseys for tomorrow's stage 1. Fresh from their victory in the Andalusia bike race in Spain, the Climatizia Orbea outfit of David Valera Serrano and Mark Stutzman are on the start line for this year's Absa Cape Epic. The Spanish-Swiss combo are a force to be reckoned with. Valera Serrano is the bronze medalist from the Tokyo Olympics, and Stutzman is a former Swiss marathon champion and winner of the Swiss and Andorra Epic. They set a blistering pace early in the start order and crossed the line in 44 minutes and 50 seconds to take 3rd. Last year's surprise runners-up, Luca Braido and Simone Alvedetto from Team Willia Vittoria, are cross-country specialists, but came in last year and turned the race on its head, missing out on the title by just 1.5 minutes. The prologue course is the perfect place for these dynamic riders to go all in, and they don't disappoint. Every inch of the Merendal course they push hard and catch the team in front. Martin Stolsek is struggling to find the pace on this short course and slows down. They finally pass, but the damage is done. Crossing the line in 44 minutes and 43 seconds, they take 2nd place. The all-South African team of Matt Leers and Tristan Norkier line up as one of the pre-race favourites ahead of a wide-open field. Leers, the champion in 21, 23 and 24, is partnered with fellow South African Norkier, podium finish in 2025. Leers takes to the front for the rolling initial stages. This is where the Beers Express excels. He drags Norkier along and they stay ahead in the split times. By the time they reach the Stairway to Heaven climb, Norkier takes the lead and returns the favour. The two put down a fantastic ride and finish the course in 44 minutes and 37 seconds, taking the win by just over 6 seconds ahead of second place. The prologue shows how unpredictable and competitive this untamed race is. Clementizia Aubert finishes in third, William Vittoria in second, and the win goes to local heroes Toyota Specialized in Buko. The all-South African pair, Matthew Beers and Tristan Norkier, will be sporting the yellow leaders' jerseys for Stage 1 tomorrow.
Hello and welcome to Montague. It is Stage 1, the first marathon stage of the 2026 Absa Cape Epic, and Montague is bathed in excitement and energy ahead of the 90-kilometre stage around this beautiful town into the Klein Karoo, uncharted territory for all these riders, because the last time the race entered Montague was in 2007 when it was a point-to-point race, and the race finished on Stage 5 here and started on Stage 6 in and out of town. And today and on Stage 2 they are doing two big loops of this rough, harsh terrain that defines this part of the world as a mountain bike mecca. The race has evolved dramatically over the years, and this is what the Absa Cape Epic in 2026 is all about. The prologue is done in Mirandal. We're out at Montague, 2.5-hour drive away and into the Karoo. Harsh terrain, succulents, different vegetation, and the barrier of the Langeberg Mountains separates them from Stage 3, a long transfer, 146 kilometers from Montague to Greyton as they skirt around through Bonnievale and then along the Rafusonaren Mountains to Greyton, where they'll do a full stage, stage number 4, before the Queen stage will take them from Greyton to the heart of mountain biking in this country, Stellenbosch. And that will be a defining stage for sure. Stages 6 and 7 will enjoy the mecca of mountain biking, the trail network around Stellenbosch to its full, and that will conclude the race. For the women, the elite women's race for the first time, it is a shorter distance, 545 kilometers, but 13,250 meters of climbing represents a formidable challenge. Stage 1, 90 kilometers for all but the elite women today, and this is the challenge that awaits them. It is harsh terrain, raw, rough trails, rocks strewn all around the trail, and protection of equipment and each other in your team is going to be vital today as they come to grips with what this Absa Cape Epic is all about. After the 20-kilometer prologue introduced them to the event, this is the harsh reality of what defines this race and what makes it so special. Stage 1 at the Absa Cape Epic is always one that challenges every single rider in the field. Something of a shock treatment for some of the amateurs, but those elite men and women are up and ready and racing for this field. So 90 kilometers, 2,150 meters of climbing, and on the difficulty scale it's 4.5 chain rings, which suggests that this is one of the toughest, being 5 the maximum, and that's what awaits them. Of course, this roller coaster, wonderful track built high on a ridgeline. And then the first of the big climbs up Abrikoerskloof, the old name, original Dutch name for apricots, which grow in proliferation in these parts. And then lots of shark's teeth as they head all the way down to the slog, which tells you that today is going to be one of those days. The elite women will start their 66-kilometer race at the first water point and head straight into the Abrikoerskloof climb, which is rough and demanding. It could create a few separations. Signal Hill and Stemmet Quickerey, and then that slog all the way back through Die Berge and Cape Dry, 66 kilometers for the women's route. As you can see, they will start at Abrikoerskloof 24 kilometers into the stage, which is what the format will be for the women's race right the way through to stage number 6, stage 7, and the prologue. With this, they'll race the same distance as the men. They have done in the prologue as well. This all to ensure that the women ride the similar time on the route as the men. Time parity is what it's all about. It falls in line with international standards, but a little bit more background as to why and how this is going to work. Have a look at this.
Didn't know or realize what the epic was going to become, but we knew it was going to be hard. Women deserved and belonged to be on that start line.
The women's race didn't grow because someone made space for it. It grew because women kept arriving prepared and ready to race.
What people don't always see is the work between the highlights, the hours after the stage, the mornings when your legs don't agree with the plan.
Epic is definitely a race of how you can manage every situation. Whether it's managing a situation that's gone badly or making the best out of a good situation, or where to spend energy or when not to spend energy.
It's going to be my first ever epic, and I'm actually preparing in the African heat to be ready for this year's epic, and it's going to be exciting.
The course isn't just terrain, it's Africa, so there's 8 days of consequences.
If you have a good day on the back, that doesn't mean that tomorrow is another good day. You have to take it day by day and try to keep consistent as much as possible.
The probability of having a bad day or a bad moment over those 8 days is highly likely. You need to be able to let it go and move on from it immediately.
If you're wondering whether this changes the challenge, spend 1 day in the bunch, then imagine doing it for a whole week.
What has always set the Absa Cape Epic apart is courage. The courage to evolve, to improve, to lead rather than follow. And years ago, when the Epic became the first event in the world to offer equal prize money for men and women, it sent a very powerful message. Women's racing matters.
And although we are super excited to see how far we can push ourselves and our limits, we also know that the people hold a lot of challenges.
It's the untamed. Anything can happen out there. The only thing you really can control is your team and how well you manage the unexpected.
After doing 21 Absa Cape Epics and preparing for my 22nd one, I can tell you it gives you nothing for free. You have to earn every pedal strong.